Every morning, the moment he opened his door, he'd find a basket of fresh eggs from the girl next door. But as soon as she walked away, he tossed them all straight into the trash. One day, she happened to catch him in the act.
Julie?
Are those my eggs?
Furious, she snatched them back. She had thought her little act of love would bring her closer to Bryce, but it turned out, he only saw the eggs as dirty. Julie was crushed. The boy she had secretly liked for years wasn't who she thought he was. From that day on, she stopped talking to Bryce, but something unexpected happened. Now that she was gone, Bryce found himself missing her. More than he liked the silence, he missed the girl who used to follow him everywhere. He started trying to get close again, but Julie wouldn't even look at him. That's when Bryce realized winning her back wouldn't be so easy. The first time Julie saw Bryce, she was only 7. His family had just moved into the neighborhood. Julie had run over, eager to help, but shy little Bryce couldn't handle her energy. He thought she was annoying and just wanted to get away. But in the middle of that awkward chase, their hands accidentally touched. Julie looked up into his eyes, those sparkling, starry eyes, and her heart skipped a beat. Fate had a funny way of working. They ended up in the same class. On the very first day, Julie gave him a big hug. From that moment, everyone at school knew she liked him. They became the unofficial couple and the target of everyone's teasing. Bryce hated it, but he was too scared to tell Julie how he felt. This went on until 6th grade. Then, Bryce came up with a plan. He pretended to chase the prettiest girl in school, showing off in front of Julie, so she'd give up on him. At first, it seemed to work, but one day, his best friend Garrett, who also liked the same girl, spilled the whole plan. When the truth came out, the girl dumped Bryce on the spot, and Julie saw it all. She couldn't help but smile. She started following Bryce around again. Just like old times, she dreamed of the day they might actually be together. But for Bryce, her presence was unbearable. He couldn't wait for middle school, so they'd be placed in different classes. He hoped they'd never see each other again. But that year, the real change didn't happen at school. It happened at home. His grandmother passed away, and his mom worried about Grandpa living alone, so she invited him to move in. And it was Grandpa who slowly began to shift Bryce's view of Julie. You see, ever since they moved in, Bryce's dad had made fun of Julie's family from afar, saying their yard was overgrown, or calling her dad a wannabe artist with no future. Without realizing it, Bryce had absorbed those same judgments, and it pushed him further from Julie. But Julie had no idea. Her dad may not have had money, but he was a wise and accomplished man. One of her brothers got into a top university. The other became a successful musician. While painting, her dad often shared life lessons with her. He told her, never judge a person by just one part. Look at the whole picture. If you only focus on one brushstroke, you might miss the beauty of the entire painting. Julie didn't fully understand at the time, but one day, as she climbed high into a sycamore tree to rescue her kite, everything clicked. The sunlight broke through the clouds, the breeze carried the sweet scent of wild grass, and the view took her breath away. For the first time, she understood what her dad meant. The pieces might seem ordinary on their own, but together, they created something beautiful. Then Bryce showed up. The kite was his. Julie invited him to climb up and enjoy the view with her, but Bryce, shallow as ever, made up a silly excuse.
I can't. I sprained my,
Julie didn't call him out, but in that moment, she finally saw it clearly. Bryce didn't like her. From then on, Julie fell in love with that tree. She would sit up there for hours, watching the sky turn soft shades of orange and purple. It became her private world. But one day, a crew of workers showed up, planning to cut the tree down to build houses. Julie begged Bryce to climb up with her, hoping that if more people were in the tree, they might spare it. Bryce hesitated, then turned and walked away, boarding the school bus with the others. Julie waited in that tree for hours, until her dad finally convinced her to come down. But it was too late. The tree was gone, and her heart was broken. She started biking to school, just to avoid seeing that empty lot. She stopped bothering Bryce, and though he should have been relieved, he felt sad, seeing how down she was. Bryce wanted to say he was sorry, but pride held him back. Julie's dad, trying to cheer her up, painted the sycamore for her. The moment she saw it, she burst into tears. That eternal tree, now in her room, taught her something deeper. The whole really is greater than the sum of its parts. Lying in bed, she found herself wondering, aside from those beautiful eyes, what did Bryce really have? She let go of her obsession with him. At the school science fair, Julie presented her egg hatching project. 6 little chicks broke out of their shells, and the crowd loved it. Bryce's project? Barely noticed. Julie didn't care about winning, but she did worry about what to do with the growing chicks. 6 months later, the hens started laying eggs like crazy. They cooked them every way imaginable. Even after neighbors bought some, there were still too many, and the first person she thought of sharing them with was still Bryce. She brought him dozens of eggs, but Bryce's dad wasn't impressed. He didn't trust them to be clean, and ordered Bryce to give them back. Wanting to avoid any contact with Julie, Bryce agreed on the surface, but behind the scenes, he dumped them in the trash. What he didn't realize was that a lie hurts more than the truth. Julie thought the whole family loved her eggs, but one day, she lingered by the door, just long enough to see the truth. And that brought us to the beginning of the story. Julie couldn't forgive him. She cut him off completely. But now, Bryce couldn't stop thinking about her. All those times he wished she'd go away. Now he couldn't stand her absence. Days passed in silence, until one day, his grandpa sat him down. Your character, he said, is shaped when you're young. Be honest. promised. Always. Bryce felt a wave of guilt. That Saturday, he found the courage to walk up to Julie and say he was sorry. But what Julie said next was something he never expected. A secret. One that could change both of their lives forever. Want to know what happens next? Follow me. The rest of the story is coming soon.